Yeah, for
Consistency is
sure.
hard. Consistency is hard, but
Dude,
we're
life
doing
is
well
hard.
though right now. We're doing well right now. We're like what, 4 weeks in a row, 5 weeks in a row. Goodness, just wait till we take another 2-month vacation. Hello, fellow weebs and otakus, an episode of Anime Fix, where your fix for all things anime. I'm Chase.
And I'm Lance.
Hi, Lance.
Chase, how are you?
I'm good. Tired. I was reading this is not anime related or manga related at all, but I was reading The Hobbit last night. I think I already told you that. But yeah, and you said it was one of your favorite books?
Yeah, in that excuse me, in that genre, yeah, it's one of my favorites. I actually prefer Hobbit over Lord of the Rings.
Why? Because it's a kid's book?
I mean, you could say all of them are kids' books, really, but no. I like the standalone story adventure and the whole multi-arc. In regards to Lord of the Rings, I don't know. It just felt more fun.
Oh, okay.
And Lord of the Rings felt it felt more fun as it was kind of like a standalone story versus Lord of the Rings has so many different characters and plot points, which that isn't what because I like that generally speaking, but it just seemed less fun to me because the stakes were so much higher. Just Hobbit, just going on a treasure hunt. So
yeah,
that's why.
I'm on chapter 4 so far, but like it starts off pretty slow, and then like I've watched the first Hobbit movie, so like the troll scene is
we
like
don't talk about
different.
that.
Well, it's way different. That. What do you mean? They made 3 movies of it, didn't they?
We don't talk about that one.
They don't. You don't? I thought it was good. No. I liked it.
Yeah, I know you did.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't. It was not. I would never say it was bad. Right? It wasn't. It isn't a bad film. But if you compare, so like if you read the books,
yeah,
and then you talk about adaptation to movie, right?
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings movie did a really good job of adapting the Lord of the Rings books.
Yeah.
The Hobbit and wasn't as good. And I suspect the reason why is because they turned it into 3 films.
Yeah.
Because it's so considerably it's a short story. And granted, there are tons of like like cliff notes. Basically, if you think of it like it's a journal, right? Like an autobiography of someone that our Bilbo is writing.
Mm-hmm.
There's several like notes like scribbled at the bottom referencing other tales that were happening during the time of the Hobbit, right? Yeah, and those stories are expanded upon in other books, in other stories.
It's funny you say that because Elrond, because I just met him. They were talking about, and Bilbo was talking about like how many different like adventures and stories that he's a part of, and I'm like, oh, they probably elaborate that on in Lord of the Rings because I've never read or watched any of the Lord of the Rings movies.
So anyway, so taking like source material, like, oh, let's expand upon it. But the problem with that I think is they made it too long, and a lot of the fun sort of upbeat, got to keep going story, it's lost over 3 films. And my suspicion is that was a money grab.
That makes sense.
Because of the success of the first Lord of the Rings, they're like, we gotta, instead of just adapting the core book, they're like, well, let's throw in all this stuff, which you think, oh man, that would be really cool. But a lot of it took away from the flow of the story. And the only reason I think they could choose to do that is because of money.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because like my favorite book of all time is Ready Player One. If you didn't know that,
I didn't
Um,
know that.
yeah, it's my favorite book of all time. I've listened to it and read it like countless times on my drives to work and stuff like that. But I watched the movie and I was so excited for the movie, but then I forgot that the movie adaptations are never like the book, and I'm like, the movie. I'm not sure if you watched the movie at all,
I have.
but yeah, it's horrible, garbage, 100%. Like nothing that happened in the movie except for the character names is the same as the book. Like the book
Really?
is like 10 times better because but the problem with the book is that it's slower, but the mysteries and trying to solve the puzzles and everything are more interesting. Whereas like in the first scene of Ready Player One, when they're trying to get the copper key, um, they're in a giant race, right? And like
Mhm.
he figures out he has to go backwards. That never happened in the book. Where in the book he played oh gosh, what's the the ostrich and uh one game. 1 second, sorry, it's gonna bug me. Ostrich and stork game. Uh Joust. They play so he goes in, he finds this cave on his school world and goes in there and he has to play against a demi-lich in the video game Joust to actually get the copper key. And that's completely different. It's just so frustrating. But what's
Mhm.
more exciting is a giant car scene and a race than them the two just playing
Yeah,
chess.
and
It's just so
that's
frustrating.
well, you see, and that's some of the problems that you have when you're adapting from one medium to another,
Yeah.
is the moment you do that, your approach has to change. So, like, with The Last of Us, right?
I haven't watched it.
I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna talk
Okay,
about
good.
it. I love it. I love the adaptation. They did a
We do.
very good job. Oh, yeah. They did a very good job of adapting. There were some changes, but when you look at where they made those changes, it makes sense because in the game,
Yeah.
the area is so like let's say let's I'm not gonna speak specific, but let's say we have an area. It's that you're in the story. It's optimized for gameplay, right?
Yes.
Changing that to a visual, like a television medium.
Hmm.
Difference is that you, the player, the viewer,
Yeah.
you are participating in the gameplay section, so you're feeling immersed and a part of it, right? If you were to imitate scene by scene or play by play in the game or in the series, you're just watching. It's not as immersive. You're just watching action happen on the scene, right? Which
Yeah.
a lot of movies and TV shows do that, where you're watching action happen on the scene. But what makes Last of Us so cool is making you, the viewer, part of the story, and so you can't really mimic that connection just watching a bunch of action happen on the scene or in certain areas. So, um, yeah, I thought they did a very good job of adapting it.
That makes
Probably
sense
has
though
a
too, because like adapting from a video game, I think because it's not the same media, but you're still like in the same realm of visually, same
mhm.
media. I think it might be a little easier going from video game to a movie. Obviously, a lot of studios don't do it well, but like
Well,
going
yeah, I mean,
from a book to a
let's look
movie,
at Warcraft. Let's look at Warcraft. Let's look at that movie was horrible
I've
by
never watched
comparison.
Warcraft.
You ever watched it?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh. I
Oh,
stuck
World of
around.
Warcraft. Gotcha. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Um a game that should not have been as bad as it or a movie that should not have been as bad as it was because there's so much lore, but it literally that's an example of where they did like the characters really felt like you're just watching NPCs talk together. Like that it felt like they just copy pasted dialogue from the game. Like we're just going to make this into the script. And so you're literally watching NPCs interact with each other.
Wow.
Um so it wasn't enjoyable. Visually it was amazing, but
Yeah. I heard the new
story-wise,
Dungeons and Dragons movie was actually pretty good. I
yeah, that's
heard
what I
that.
heard too.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah.
wanna
So,
watch it.
but when you're switching, so to go kind of back to you talk about how you're switching from like book to TV show to video game to
Yeah,
movie. All of those are different in how you tell the story and how you make the viewer participate. So, I mean, it's a challenge. It's not as easy as people think. I think it's not as easy as people imagine it is. Oh, you just mimic the source material, but it's so much more than that. Like in regards of a book, there's a lot of descriptions and like details that are written from a third person point of view about the surroundings, and you can't do that in a movie or a TV show. You have to
yeah,
show it, right? And you have to do it in such a way where you can recreate the same experience without expecting the user to or the viewer to know they have to think about it, right? Like it has to be very like upfront. So anyway,
yeah,
yeah,
totally
it's a
agree.
challenge.
I think I'm gonna label this episode, "Other Media, Not Anime."
We spent what 10 minutes talking about everything but anime
That's fine though,
and
but, like,
media.
to transition to anime, like, that that's why I like anime more because the manga adaptations to anime are always, like, usually really good.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's, like, ones that don't translate well, or there's the studio just dropped the ball, but most of the time, because it's, like, the same kind of media, not really the same media, but, like, the same art style, same exact, really everything, you're just transferring those panels to, an anime. It's a little bit
Mhm.
easier, I think. But, yeah, what we're talking about this episode, after our 10 to 15-minute thing on Lord of the Rings and, TV shows and other genre, is just what we're watching/reading and what we're excited for and stuff like that. Mostly because I dropped the ball and I was supposed to watch Akudama Drive and didn't. But I will definitely watch it this week, I promise.
But man, you're gonna like it.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
And
It's
what will you watch, Lance?
I will finish Vinland Saga,
Lance is a better
which
man
is
than me because he actually started it, and I didn't start Akudama Drive.
um I'll say I will say just kind of like a little precursor. The first couple episodes of Vinland Saga for me
Yeah.
were a little bit slow,
Mhm.
right? It's now starting to get like uh,
Yeah.
episode by the end of episode 3, start of episode 4, it's starting to get like okay.
It makes
Now
sense,
I
right?
see, yeah, I'm starting to see where the story is going, and I like it. So,
Yeah.
but I mean,
So
Attack on Titan was the same way too. Like the first few episodes, I was like, "Oh, this is interesting," but I kind of was like, I'll get back to it later." Then I started watching, and then and then I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to finish this because this is so amazing."
yeah, if you think
Um,
about like all the ones that you really enjoy, like a Psychopass or like um Attack on Titan, those kind of ones, those are called Sennin. Like Tokyo Ghoul is a Sennin as well, and then they always start off slow, and well, except for Tokyo Ghoul, but they usually start off slow,
except for
and
Psychopaths too.
well, I guess whatever. They usually start off slow and then focus a little more on the world building and stuff like that, and then they focus on human aspects and character and that kind of stuff, which is very enjoyable.
Mhm,
Um,
definitely.
but you're gonna go see a cool movie soon, right?
Psychopaths Providence, baby. This
Baby, what's it about?
this Friday. So I have intentionally avoided as much
Oh, okay.
about it as I can, but I think sort of my hope is I can't remember. I think it was at the end of so there was season 3 of Psychopaths, and then there was Psychopaths 3 the movie, which was basically right after the end of it was a movie that was done right after the end of season 3. It takes place immediately after,
Oh,
right?
okay.
I'd almost say it was like not even a movie really. It was just 2 additional episodes
How two
they could
additional
have
episodes.
added. Yeah, they
That
could have
makes
added
sense.
to the season.
They could have made it an
Or
OVA.
yeah. Well, I guess not. It was about 2 hours, so but it'd be 2 hour long
It'd be like 5
for
episodes.
5 episodes. So, but anyway, at the end though, we had learned this earlier on that Tsunemori was in jail, basically, right? And we don't know why. Something happened between
Is she the main
season
girl?
2, Kane Tsunemori from
Okay,
the
yeah,
yeah,
Kane.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I just
yeah.
know first names.
Obviously, we need to refer to her by her formal name, Tsunemori. We don't know her personally. Why would we say Akane?
Because everyone calls her Akane. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just being difficult. But so we obviously we have season 1, we have season 2, and
Yep.
then there were 3 OVAs in between season 2 and season 3, which actually you watch those, you don't realize it, but they're actually building up. They're kind of almost precursors to season 3. Right? They set the stage for what's happening in season 3 and and some of the characters in season 3. Right? So they are important in that regard. So you have season 1, season 2, 3 OVAs, season 3, and then you have the movie, right?
Yep.
Somewhere between season 2 and season 3, Akane ended up in jail, and we don't know why. And it looks like it's the same jail that they put criminals in, high psychopath scores. So we don't know why, but I can't remember if it was at the end of season 3 or at the end of the movie, because it all just kind of blurs together for me. She gets out, and my hope is that Psychopath's Provenance is going to give us that other piece that we don't know. How did she end up? What story
that makes
led
sense.
her to end up in jail?
Yeah.
That's what I think, because there is some sort of like secret organization, people with high psychopaths are let to go free because they're working on some other stuff for the government, and
Yeah.
and everything like that. And I'm wondering if Akane is a part of that in some way, and this is sort of like a secret mission. But I've intentionally avoided all as details as I can, so I can go in a blank slate and be just overjoyed.
I thought you would. I thought I was gonna go like towards a more Inspector Kogami kind of vibe and just tell his story.
I mean, we've heard we got his story in one of the 3 hour episodes in between season 2 and season 3.
Oh, okay.
So we had season 1 was a big part of his story, and then between season 2 and season 3, the episodes is about him. So yeah, another big part of his story. Where it sort of continues where we left off after he runs away in season 2. Oh, we also get him in the movie too, because there's a scene there where they're synced. So we got a lot of his story. We haven't gotten a lot of Akane since season 2.
Gotcha. Yeah, that sounds exciting. I'll probably go watch it since it's going to be in my local theater. Love it.
I'm so pissed about that. Why, of all places,
a lot of weebs in Kokomo. A lot of weebs.
Your small hick town out in the middle of nowhere.
It's not small.
It's my. No, it's not small.
It's
my favorite anime.
When you see a map of Indiana, Kokomo's right up there, boss. It's you actually see it. They label it. It's important.
Yeah, clearly it's important.
But I was gonna say, like, we both seen Suzume in theaters, but the movie I saw before that in theater that was an anime was that time I got reincarnated as a slime, Scarlet Bond. And
you didn't watch Belle?
I watched Belle, yeah. I didn't watch it in theaters though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I didn't have access to watch it at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched the Scarlet Bond, and I was remembering that because it just got released on Crunchyroll. But that's a really good continuation of that story, which I'm surprised that you haven't watched that time I got reincarnated slime, because that's it's probably my favorite isekai of all time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'll have to add that to the list.
Yeah.
Things to watch.
Yeah, but there's like 4 seasons, man. It's gonna take you forever.
Oh my god.
But it's so good because there's 4 seasons, and it's such a great story. Like my buddy
Definitely
Matthew,
something.
I was able to get him to watch that time I got reincarnated slime, and he watched it all in a week. Not even a week.
Man, I wish I had time to just sit around and watch.
Yeah, I mean, you work remotely, so it should be fine.
I I still work though. It's not.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
I wish I could say that I just. Yeah, I probably stay at my desk longer than I should. I'm probably the only person that really sits at my desk for
Yeah.
extended periods of time.
The only one in your company, probably.
Based on how quickly I respond to people when they message me. So
and they're shocked because people are shocked how quickly I respond too.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, he's quick. He's like, no, other people are just slow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. So that I'm very excited to see where that goes. I kind of want to watch. I kind of want to watch it all over again, but that's going to really get in the way of Vinland Saga, so I'll have to set that aside.
I need to watch Attack on Titan, honestly, to catch up for the new season coming out.
You are so close to being done. Like, literally, you could.
I'm not so close to being done.
You're in season 3.
I have a whole season to watch. 2 seasons, if you count part 1 and 2 or whatever.
Oh, you mean yes? Well, no. So season. I thought you were
I'm
at
like
the end
in
of
the
season 3.
I'm in the middle of season 2.
Oh, you're
Maybe
way
at the
far
tail,
back.
maybe the tail end of season 2.
Oh, I thought you were further along than that.
All I know right now, and spoilers alert for anyone that hasn't watched Attack on Titan, all I know right now is I've watched the battle where Erwin dies.
That's in season 3.
That's in season 3?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm in the season
Pretty
3
sure.
then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in season 3.
I remember his speech, and that's it.
Yeah, because all right, so you know that, so you don't know anything past that. Yeah, I think you're in season 3.
Okay.
Because there's a decision that gets made there.
I haven't made it to the time skip.
Okay.
If there is a time skip, I'm assuming there is because I see trailers of them being older.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a decision that gets made there, and they don't really live with that decision for too long before season 4.
Oh.
So yeah, I think you're almost at the end of the season. So yeah, you are super close to being finished. You just need to sit down and watch it.
I don't know, man. It's so complicated. The story is to try to follow everything.
It's not complicated. You just need to focus.
I can't. I'll take like 4 pills.
You want to see complicated?
Yeah.
Get caught up on season 4, and then you'll get your mind fucked. Okay, so that's
okay. We'll do.
I'm sure you've seen the memes. Have you seen the memes?
Yeah, I've seen the memes.
Yeah.
Don't ruin anything for me, but yeah, I've seen the memes.
Where they're all pointing at each like
Yeah.
So
but yeah, I gotta watch that. I just been super into these romance and harem animes and then mangas for sure. Like I've been so invested in all these. So like I'm scrolling through TikTok, right? A manga pops up that's 26 pages long, scrolling through. I get super invested in the first chapter. I got to look it up and I got to read all of it. And then there's only 10 chapters out. I'm so frustrated because I spent the last 2 hours reading this and now I'm unfulfilled because I have to wait.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks, dude. You gotta space that out a little bit. But I totally get you there right now. If I had known that Attack on Titan wasn't going to finish when it did, or it wasn't going to finish and it'd be postponed again for a part 4 or 3 or whatever. Yeah, whatever the fuck it is. I probably would have spaced out my viewing of Attack on Titan because I just can't.
The manga's finished. You can read it if you want.
I don't want to spoil anything for myself.
It's fair.
But yeah, the manga is finished, and I've thought about going out and buying the box set.
Do it. Oh man, but I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, one of my favorite manhwas of all time, which is a Korean manga. They're called manhwas. Is called Solo Leveling, and I read it all within like 2 weeks, and there's like 300, 400 chapters. I read it all, and it was such peak and so good. It's like an isekai that comes to Earth instead. So like there's gates is what they call them, and like there's hunters that go into these gates and beat the boss in the gates. Because if they don't beat the boss within a certain time frame, the gate gets opened and all the demons and people get released into the earth. So there's these hunters that have powers that get bestowed when the gates come alive, and it's about this guy that has no powers. Like he has powers, like he's slightly stronger than an average human, so he's like an E rank hunter. He goes into this gate and proceeds his whole party, which is the highest character, is a C rank. They're in a double S rank dungeon on accident, so they'd get demolished, and then it's just stories about him, and then like him having the ability to level up, where everyone else they're given a rank by when they're born or whatever, and they have to stay that rank. He has the ability to level up, only him. So that's why it's called soul leveling. But like it is so good, and they're making a anime, and it's coming out soon. I am, oh man,
That's gonna be. We gotta watch it when it comes out.
Yeah, the people that have read it, I'm so excited for this word, just the word, to be animated, and like him just like looking at the screen, it because he's kind of, well, I'm not gonna spoil it, but like the word he says is arise, and it's just every time he says it in the manga, I get chills. So I can't wait for that.
Very nice. That's gonna be dope, dude.
You still haven't watched Chainsaw Man too. Well,
I know.
finished all that.
So behind. I seen it put away.
I might just read Attack on Titan because I'll probably finish it faster than watching.
Swear to God, if you see the end before I do,
I probably will. Well, because like I can finish, which is really weird. I can finish reading a manga way faster than watching an anime.
Why?
I don't know. I think I just get so deep into it, and then I just can't stop. Whereas like the anime is like it has to be a certain pace where I can read faster than I can watch something.
I don't know. I really like watching the anime itself. Like I do enjoy reading the manga, but I want to read it as a. I just need to read more manga, is what it is. I've read so few, so
I've read so many. You need to. Oh man. So that speaking of back, and I can't wait because, for our tier list, but talking about Domestic Girlfriend. Domestic Girlfriend is literally just like a small snippet of
I know
of the manga, and I read all the manga, and it's so good right up till the very end, and then the author just destroyed us. I was so upset. Are you gonna read the manga at all or not for Domestic Girlfriend? Probably not, because it's like 400 chapters.
I mean, probably not anytime soon. That's for sure.
You'll probably forget about it. But you know how like the whole Domestic Girlfriend anime is about, the main guy and then teacher, right? It's just their relationship. After that anime, when she like leaves after they get caught, it's the whole manga, all 300 chapters after that is about him and Rui and their relationship. It's all about that. And then man, it's just so frustrating because like Rui is best girl, and you're so into their relationship, and like you get to see his character growth as an author, which is a huge part of the manga, of him being an author and like going to different places and like realizing how it is to write, and like being more than just an ero manga, right? And then at the very end, they Hina gets in a car accident from a stalker of herself, right? And he is about to marry Rui. They're having a baby, and then the author does The doctor does a 180 and marries a comatose Hina while Rui is living with him. Like, what is going on? I was so bad. So bad. Oh,
we don't talk about that.
I'm just
that
so
ending doesn't
frustrated.
exist.
Yeah, it does exist, and I'm so upset about it.
Wait, you don't like do a headcanon where you're like, man, this is not how the story went. This is how it should have gone.
I have to face reality, Lance. I have to face reality. I mean, I can't run from it. It's
You
real,
accept it.
so I
Yeah.
have to accept it. It's just frustrating. And then she wakes up like 12 years later and like, oh, everything's cool now.
So messed up.
Very messed up. But another thing about that is you watched Domestic Girlfriend, but you never watched Citrus, right?
Mm-mm.
So we haven't watched a Yuri, so we got to do that as well.
Okay.
You know what Yuri is, right?
Mm-mm.
Girl Love.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a new one out that I've been watching. It's been really good. Actually, I watched like the first 3 episodes when it came out. It's finished now for the first season, but like I was so impatient because I love Yuri, and I didn't want to wait for the next episode the next week, so I just read all of the manga that was available, and now I'm like way too far ahead. I'm so far ahead, like it doesn't even matter. Same thing with Yamada-kun. I just spoil everything for myself to read the manga. I'll let you talk. I'm talking a lot.
Oh, you're fine. Actually, I actually have to step away for a moment, so you can keep talking.
Well, it's no fun if I talk to myself. Go ahead.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
I was just mentioning how our listeners can go into either Spotify or our Apple Podcasts and either leave a review or the poll that I usually do in there, or answer the question if they want us to listen or watch / read and review a manga or a anime.
We really need to link that up with the Discord too.
Yeah,
podcast.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of people waiting to be guests as well. We were on that for like the first year, and then consistency is hard. Consistency is hard, but we're doing well though right now. We're doing well right now. We're like what 4 weeks in a row, 5 weeks in a row. Goodness, just wait till we take another 2-month vacation.
When I was stepping out for a moment, I accidentally closed the door on my dog's on Letty's tail.
Oh.
Yeah, and she yelped and I turned around, I was like, "Oh no." And I feel terrible. So she's going to be like getting so much attention for the next like 5 hours and food and treats, everything like that.
Yeah, you better.
I think she's fine though. Her tail looks okay. Like it's not. I put my hand on it and it doesn't seem to be. I don't think I damaged anything.
That's good.
But yeah, but she's sitting here right now next to me. So I'll probably be distracted paying attention to her. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I don't remember. What were we talking about? You were gone like an hour, man.
Was it an hour?
No, it wasn't.
It felt like an hour. Any time I'm away from you feels like forever.
I can't wait to I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I can't wait till we do our tier list. Because like I have like our top 10 episodes that like ranking by listens, and it's just funny like to think about the ones that are like our top 10.
And whether those are actually our favorites themselves.
Yeah, I mean, from looking at it, there's a couple of them on there, but like not really. It's more like I don't know. Like one of them on here, the audio was like pretty bad, but like I guess it was really popular. Huh.
Is that the House Moving Castle one?
It is, yeah, but it's our it's ranked second.
That's what happens when you do a bunch of stuff like over phone, over yeah.
Do you know what our most popular episode is? But this isn't taking into account because we transitioned obviously to a different platform. But this is since we've been transitioned. You know what our most listened to one was?
Is it Pokemon?
Vivi.
Vivi? I
Vivi
believe
by like 20 listens.
Yo, Vivi was a banger, dude. That's
Vivi's such a good anime, man.
And that's just something that was kind of like, I just happened to stumble across that.
Yeah, I'm happy you did.
Yeah, I am too.
But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to talk about. We've been talking for a pretty good while now.
I'm good.
Cool beans. We will talk about Akudama Drive for sure because that's a short one. We'll see if you can finish Vinland Saga. I don't know because there's 2 seasons. I at least want you to get through season 1. So
I think I can get through season 1.
But hopefully you get into it like you did Tokyo Revengers.
Yeah, where I watched season 1 and season 2 in like, I don't know, was it a week? Was it 2 weeks?
It was like 2 weeks, a week and a half, possibly.
I think it was a week and a half.
Every waking moment, you just watch that.
Dude, yeah. Morning, lunchtime, before bed. So good.
But yeah, alrighty.
All right.
We'll do both of those. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll have an episode. We'll probably just do the same thing we did now if we didn't watch it. But we're sure gonna try.
Yeah, we were ahead by several.
Hey, you know what? I can't plan vacations. You know, I just do what I'm told.
I think we need to turn our tier list. You make that a mega episode so we can split that up into.
Oh yeah, we need to figure out when your better half has time to do that. You know,
I'll talk to her today when she gets home.
Sounds good, sir.
But yeah, for that tier list though, because I know like we've talked about 60 anime.
Oh no, let's see. So this is our 7. So out of all the animes, this is the last one was 74.
How many of those like part 1, part 2?
Spy Family took up 4 of them. So and then Charlotte took 2. So we're around like 65, I would say.
Okay, so we've talked about 65 anime.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to truly tier list 65 anime in one episode.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Especially if because we're gonna. I know there's a few we're gonna argue on there.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
And I gotta talk to your better half as well because like, is this like an S to like a D tier or is this like in line? I don't know. Like a 1 to like 65 or whatever.
I feel like I feel like it's gonna have to be S to D tier because there's so many like really good ones. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna get really hard to decide.
To put them in order.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds good. Just let me know what she says.
All right, we'll do.
All right. We'll catch everyone next time when we do either Akudama Drive, Vinland Saga, or the tier list. or what we did today.
Or other media.
Yeah.
Bye.